So today's readings speak about love. A lot of times we don't understand what love is. Sometimes there are 4 levels of love. The first level is the most shallow. It's very selfish. It's about the physical. It's about the senses. Sometimes when a guy goes out with a girl and he likes her, he thinks she's beautiful and she smells good and he's physically attracted to her, he'll put his arms around her and tell her, "I love you." But does he really love her, or does he love her body? Does he love what she can do for him physically? It's more about the physical. So it's very selfish. That's a selfish kind of love. It's very, what's in it for me? I find you physically attractive, and so it's more about lust than love. And then the second level is about the ego. When you find somebody who's got high status, they're beautiful, they're rich, they make you look good, they treat you like a princess, all of a sudden you love them. They're marriage material. But again, it's about you, how he makes you feel good, how he elevates your ego. But most of our society lives on this 2 level. Very selfish, very self-centered. People who live together agree to use each other physically, right? And so on. But so those 2 levels are not enough. That's not true love. So the next level is commitment. Willing to commit, willing to sacrifice for the good of the other. So if you're in a marriage and your spouse has an accident and the person is paralyzed, you don't divorce them, you don't leave them. You stay with them, you care for them, you help them through good times and in bad. Right, Quan? So that's the 3rd level. And here's the thing, sometimes one person is on the 3rd level, another person is on the 1st and 2nd level. Right? Sometimes there's a relationship, and then one person wants to get married. They've been living together. One person wants to get married and make a commitment, and the other person says no. They keep putting it off. They don't want to marry. They don't want to get married. They're not at level 3 yet. They're just level 1 and 2. Right? Okay, but level 3 is not enough. Why? Because even non-Christians can love on level 3. They can sacrifice for the good of the other. That's not enough. Because there's a level 4. That means you desire the greatest good of the other, which is what? Which is heaven, which is eternal life. That's the true love. To love is to desire the greatest good of the other. And the greatest good for every person is heaven, is eternal life, is holiness. Not the worldly things, not to be rich and famous and happy in this world, right? But happy forever with God in the next world. That's our greatest happiness. And so that's where true love is. True love is desiring the other person go to heaven. So therefore, that requires correcting the person, just like in the gospel reading. That's why Jesus says, when your brother sins against you, go and speak to him. Go and correct him. One-on-one. So we do that. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. Most people don't want to hear that. But we do it out of love. We don't do it to shame them or to get back at them. No, we do it out of love so that they may change their ways, so that they may grow in holiness. It's for their good. And then the first reading says, God speaks to Ezekiel and says, whatever I tell you, you need to tell the people so that they may turn from their bad ways and turn back to me. Because if you don't tell them and they don't change, then they will die in their sin, and you too will die because you did not tell them. But if you tell them and you correct them and they didn't listen to you, they will die in their sin, but you will not because you've already done your part. So all of us, we have responsibilities, obligations, role. If we love somebody, if parents love their kids, they have to correct them. If they see that their kids are sinning, living the wrong path, going down the wrong path that doesn't lead to eternal life, then the parents correct their kids, not out of anger, not out of hate, but out of love, wanting the best for their children. And same thing with spouses, same thing with children, for their parents, everything. Same thing with friends. If you know that your friend is doing something immoral, sinful, hurtful, you should advise them, correct them, to turn away from that and to turn back and live a righteous life. Because all of us will stand before God at the end of this life. And God will ask us, right? Did you love the people I put in your life? Did you love them on level 4? Did you tell them to turn from their sin so that they may be faithful to me? I'm going to be that too. God is going to ask me, were you true to your vocation? Did you preach my word? Did you tell people? Did you correct them? Did you point them to heaven? I want to say, yes, Lord, I did. I tried my best, even though they didn't want to listen to me. So, all of us, that's what true love looks like. It's not just going along with whatever you want, right? Because sometimes the younger folks say that, right? If you love me, then you have to accept me for who I am. You accept me for whatever I want. No, if what you desire, if what you choose is sinful and not conducive to your holiness, to heaven, then true love has to say no. That's unacceptable. That's not right. That's not your true happiness. That's not the path to true happiness. Right? So that's what true love is. Having difficult conversations for the good of the other, for their greatest good. So now we know what love is. It's not just going along with what people want. It's not just giving them whatever they want. No, it's desiring their greatest good, their holiness and their eternal life. And that sometimes requires correction and advisement. And so we do that one-on-one. When we see somebody sin, we go and talk to them, that person, one-on-one. We don't go and tell everybody else. No, we go and talk to that person first. And if that doesn't work, then we bring other people in. Hopefully they'll learn. Again, it's done out of love, not out of shame or anger, but for their greatest good. So that's what true loves look like. Desiring the greatest good of the other, sometimes having to correct them. And we do that because of our faithfulness to God.